So Disney is looking to create a brand new boy band, or boy brand, sorry, to attract a more male audience. Now, you all know the talking points I'm going to make in this video, but to give credit where credit is due, I love that Disney is thinking of original IPs. Alright, we sure as hell need original stuff in modern entertainment. I'd say the 2020s only had two original things that I became a big fan of, like the Nobody movies and, what else? Squid Game. Alright, that's completely it. Like, the ideas of treasure hunters, you already have that with Pirates of the Caribbean. And the ideas of Halloween. I would love a new Halloween movie. Alright, I got a new Christmas movie this decade. That's Violent Night. I unfortunately haven't watched Klaus in a long time because I don't really like to support Netflix because a lot of their original material has a lot of anti-Christian messaging in it. So, but the biggest irony of it all is that Disney bought Marvel's Star Wars, and I assume 20th Century Fox because they wanted a boy brand. And then next thing you know, you screwed it all up. Like, take some things for example. Alright, Marvel, it's all about that stupid pride shit now. You turn everyone gay. There was a She-Hulk comic that coincided with the release of the She-Hulk show. And they barely did superheroing at all. All they did was talk about girl shit. Just like the show. Alright, what if season 3, you made Howard the Duck fuck. Pun definitely intended. Rhyme intended. Kat Dennings. And they had a kid together. Jeez Louise. And then next thing you know, you have these weird-ass interviewers going, "Is this the gayest Marvel show ever made? Is this the gayest Star Wars show ever made?" Star Wars is the biggest offender of that. Like, The Acolyte, for example. Now, when I say female demographic, I don't mean female lead. I need to make that very clear. There's a lot of female-led properties that are for a male demographic. Alien, Terminator, Kill Bill. What I do mean by female demographic is the content that's within the show. Alright, so the Acolyte, so again, The Acolyte, for example. You had a thirst trap scene. You had the Coven of Lesbian Space Switches. Alright, I talked to someone in the real world, and she's not into this whole culture war thing. You know, she liked parts of The Acolyte. She liked The Acolyte more than a lot of other people did. She said she even found that weird. But of course, you know, there's gonna be people who absolutely love that due to the ideological side of it, but I'm pretty sure you all know what the hell I'm talking about. And also, you might think that I'm contradicting myself, but you turned a lot of Marvel into bait and switches. Loki? That show's not about Loki. It's about Sylveon. I know, the fucking Pokemon that I bought a plush of in Japan. That's gotta fuel the rumors that I'm gay. Anyway, Moon Knight. There are literally episodes dedicated to Layla. Alright, who apparently is a character from much later comics, and she's like an 11-year-old in the comics. You know, you could have used Marlene. I still think it would have been stupid if you dedicated entire episodes to Marlene, but she was a badass in the comics. She was hot too. And then next thing you know, you gave us female Silver Surfer. So the reason why I am pissed at Disney here is because they clearly don't know what they're doing. You bought two big properties that are appealing to men, and then you wanted to turn it into something for women. And I'm not saying women can't like it. Women like it the way it is. Similar to how men like My Little Pony the way it is. I think women are more open to boy stuff than men are to girls shit. I don't think bronies are actually into that stupid fucking show. I think they just say they like it because it makes them look cool, you know? But I think what actually is the problem, I've pointed this out a lot on social media, I've pointed this out a lot on my Twitter. What they've actually been trying to turn Marvel and Star Wars into is something for demographics like Hazbin Hotel, Twilight, you know, a lot of modern day indie animation stuff that comes out where it's all gay and everything's appealing to shippers. And also I need to mention, there's a tweet going viral on Twitter. It's the creator of a show called Amphibia. Now I have not seen that Amphibia show. I was never interested. Who knows? It might be the most badass thing ever. They probably have guns in it. The only thing I do know prior is that the show has Keith David in it. And apparently I heard the show is, like, really gay. Like, I've heard the same thing with The Owl House. I also have not watched that show. Not interested. What I'm trying to say here is, I think the creator of Amphibia wants to, market Star Wars and Marvel as something for the demographic of his own show. Alright? No one's gonna like that. You're gonna turn more men into Andrew Tate fans. I don't even like Andrew Tate. I think the dude's a grifter. But I also think he's a big boogeyman because for the woke, because, you know, he's a threat to their... Again, I barely know anything about the guy, but he's a threat to their not-so-effeminate male society. But anyway, like, if you turn something that I like, take Rambo, for example, and you start having him, you know, wave a pride flag and, you know, talking to a bunch of effeminate men, of course I'm gonna hate that shit. And also, another tweet is going viral from the creator of Amphibia. It shows his fucking hypocrisy. He praised K-pop Demon Hunters because it's something made by women for women. So, there's something wrong with something being made by men for men, but not women. I also see that a lot of men like K-pop Demon Hunters too. I tried watching the movie, and it's not for me. I can give some positives about it, but overall it's not for me. So basically, you know, with the marketing of this is the gayest this or that ever, is this the gayest this or that ever? And, you know, all the shipping and all the barely doing superhero shit, like I mentioned in She-Hulk earlier. Alright, and also, I have not seen the Miss Marvel show, but I have seen the Marvels. I fucking cringed. No, keep in mind, I haven't seen the movie when it came out. I just have a really good memory. I fucking cringed at the scene where it felt like an animation for like a girl high school movie. Like when they introduced Miss Marvel. I fucking cringed in the theater. And the Marvels is also another good example. I don't think the movie was necessarily woke. It was definitely not a Marvel movie. Oh yeah, the planet where people's language is singing and she's a princess now and now everyone's being eaten by kittens. How is that not... How is that supposed to be a Marvel movie? How is that what Jim Starlin envisioned for the characters of Marvel and Miss Marvel? I still have not read the original Miss Marvel yet. All I know is that she fought Scorpion once, because that was in a Spider-Man comic that was mentioned. But yeah. That was definitely not a Marvel movie. It's a script for a Disney Princess movie that somehow made it into the Marvel office. So yeah, it's very unfortunate to what franchises have become. They become a parody of themselves. So now you want to do something new. And again, I said it. I like that they're doing something new. But at the same time, you had your brands, which is the reason why you bought them in the first place. Just to trick them into going to the hospital and medically transitioning them. You know what I mean by that metaphor. So yeah, so I will give it credit though. I am excited to see what original things they could come up with. It is refreshing to see a studio say that. But, and I also think it's a good sign for these two franchises going forward, Star Wars and Marvel. But yeah, honestly, I think the only way to save those two franchises is that if they both take a 10-year break, you probably re-release a lot of movies in theaters, and you bring back retro comics to grocery store stands or gas station stands. Because I think that's how you're also gonna improve comic sales a little. So, what do you guys think of this stupid fucking issue? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all later. Bye. Hey, sorry for the last minute voice line, folks. So I forgot to make this point in the video, and it's about, like, girl bosses and replacing and all that stuff. So... Sorry, I wanted to leave that outtake in there because I just heard a dumb noise. Anyway, I used to think the people who constantly defended the idea of replacements and girl bosses and changing things into a girl brand, alright, I used to think those people were uninformed. It's like, okay, when we're talking about Mary Sue's, it might sound like, we're just complaining about women. Oh, yeah, when we talk about stupid race commentaries, it might sound like we hate minorities, but maybe a little sit down and a little talk might change their minds a little. Not change their view on it, but at least see where we're coming from. No, this is exactly what these people want. All right, people like Your Movie Sucks, Mr. Repzion. Mr. Repzion's a sellout, by the way. Who else? Three Birdman. This is how they want minorities represented in media. They want the division side of it. They want the ideological side of it. They want the victim side, the everything's about me side, the shame side, the guilt side. Pretty much everything you would hear from a modern SJW nowadays, because they are SJWs. If you see someone with pronouns in their bio on Twitter talking about how complaining about girl bosses is not real criticism, just know, for a fact why this person supports it. He's a leftist, all right? And, I really did not want to use that straw man language, but I had to, all right? There were so many people that made me come to this conclusion, and so yeah, they don't want equality. They want replacing, they want victimhood, and they want validation, all right? That is not how you make characters. Well, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye.